Hello everyone, my name's Brian Davis and welcome to Brian Davis Scuba, and it's our first ever live stream. So today I'm very fortunate to have a scuba tuber to interview, and really he's the guy who's my mentor and also the guy that encouraged me to go from like a sort of family YouTube to a full YouTube page. He's a very successful scuba tuber. He's amazingly funny when you listen to his videos. So with no further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Justin Carmack, aka the Critter Hunter. Hey Justin.
How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, good. Thanks for being the guinea pig. You know, if I'm going to screw up, I'd rather screw it up with you.
Yeah, you can always blame me. I got a wife. I'm used to it.
Yeah. So brilliant. And the Wi-Fi looks pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was. I'm sorry if it goes out later. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I dive a lot in the Philippines, you know, so I visit a lot. So, you know, the biggest frustration when I go there is just nothing except the connectivity, you know, trying to get good. Because I work for a living as well as try and make it on YouTube. So
Whoa.
when I sneak off for a couple of weeks, I've got to do all my stuff. So, President Duterte, please, once you fix COVID-19, please get the internet going well everywhere.
Yeah, that's a little too much for his head.
Yeah. But both you and your wife are active YouTubers, right?
Yeah, she's got a little channel about her life, daily life, I guess. Just
Yeah. She likes to fish, huh? She wants me to bring her a few dead batfish.
the other day, my guide, he knew where to find an octopus, so we went to this special dive site. I left her on the beach like usual, and we didn't find the octopus. So we got out of the water, and she was having a big old barbecue, eating some octopus on the beach.
Yeah. Welcome to the Philippines, you know.
Yeah, she met all these locals, and they were cooking a barbecue, so she went and joined, and they were probably eating my octopus.
All right. Let's kind of get started because you know everyone sees you on YouTube, everyone knows you're the Critter Hunter, but people don't really know much about you. So I'd like to
Yeah,
kick off.
I'm just trying to share this live stream on my channel right now,
All right,
and
cool.
and her channel.
Okay,
But
so
anyway, go ahead.
let me know. Are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead. You turn the
All
fan
right.
on.
So we've got a few sort of questions, just because I'd like people to get an understanding of more of you know, like Justin, the diver and the person, rather than this awesome narrator and critter videographer. So
All right.
where are you from? I know you're American, Justin, but yeah, where are you from? Where are you from in the States?
Well, I don't know what gave it away, but yeah, I'm from Colorado. Pretty
Colorado,
far.
beautiful state.
Yeah, I call it the Switzerland of America. It's really nice there. Grew up in the
Well, to go,
mountains.
yeah, it's on my bucket list, Colorado.
I'd love to show you
Colorado,
around.
Washington State, and Oregon. Those are the three places. And I've been to America a lot, but I've never got up to the places I really wanted to go to.
Yeah, those
Right.
are
Now you've been
Colorado's.
traveling. Sorry.
Yeah, Colorado's the most beautiful state.
Yeah. So you've been traveling for a long time now. Um, so when did you leave the US?
2010. I haven't been back to Colorado since then. So basically, did you want to hear how I started traveling?
Yeah, come on. Yeah, people want to know more about you rather than the critters.
um, well, in 2010, I was in university, and we went on a international trip to Southern Africa. So that was like a culture shock. My town had 2,000 people, no public transport, no culture, with nobody had been anywhere. I think we had one black person in high school just because for our football. He came from out of state. One Asian, that was my friend. And that was it. That was our cultural experience. So it was a huge immersion when we all went to South Africa. And we did this big budget trip through South Africa, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and it stopped in Mozambique. And I ended up most of us got certified in Mozambique for open water. And that just changed the trip, and the getting certified changed my life. So after 6 weeks, the trip was over. Everybody's getting ready to go home. And I said, screw that. I can't go home. I'm staying. I know I have no money, but I can't. I just couldn't imagine stopping what I was doing, going back to the classroom, the four walls, learning history from some teacher that never been anywhere and reading some book. I just couldn't do it. So I said, I'm going to take a semester off and try to survive. So my students, my fellow students thought I was crazy, going to die, because I had no money, no family to help if I got in trouble. And my flight was like $2,000. So if I missed that, there's no way to get home. But my professor was super supportive. And then, so I missed my flight. I got a job the next day at a bar. I started working at this hostel.
Was that in Mozambique? Was it?
Yeah.
Of course.
So my first dive experience was with whale sharks. There's a bunch of marine biologists there studying humpbacks and manta rays and all kinds of shit. So I was addicted. So
we got our first comment, Justin, and guess who it is? It's Judea.
Oh,
Hi, Judea. She's on.
Kevin's trying to bite me.
All right. So, how did you end up in the Philippines?
Well, I never went home. That semester off turned into 2, 3, 4 years, 10 years now. And I had $400 to my name when the students left. I got a job making like $40 a week plus accommodation and a meal. And I would just hitchhike to the next city. Hitchhike to the next city. That got me I circled the globe like 5 times. And when I was living in Europe, working at another bar, this is like 4 or 5 years later, I started a website about travel and scuba diving. And after about 6 months, when I did that, I started hitchhiking. I went to almost every country in Europe with no money. And the website actually blew up and started making money. So long story short, I traveled the world. I started traveling with sponsors and getting paid and all this. It was a little bit different travel than hitchhiking and couch surfing and sleeping in ditches just to see the world, you know. So
you came to Dubai one time, didn't you?
Yeah, that was the same trip. I was in Egypt doing my dive master. I got a sponsor trip. I got like 3 trips. So the tourism board of Kenya, they flew me from Egypt to Kenya. I did a bunch of diving. Then they flew me. I don't remember if Kenya or Dubai paid for it, but somebody flew me from there to Dubai, and I did a sponsor trip there. And then from there, they flew me to Philippines, and that's how I met. That's how I met the wife, like 5 years ago. But I kept traveling, and I came back. I did a huge, crazy trip. I was sponsored by Marriott and Star Alliance, and we did this round the world trip, and that also ended in Philippines. And by then, I was tired. I've been to 90 countries. I think for 4 years, I averaged 150 flights per year. And I was just super tired. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to hang out with Judea for a while and not travel.
But I guess now you must feel like you're in a cage, right?
Yeah. So even when I took a break, I only went to like 10 countries per year for the last few years. We moved to Thailand. We decided to travel slow and try to live in a different country every year, something with diving. So we lived in Thailand together. We went like all the Southeast Asia countries together. Then we came back here to get married after like 5 years or 4 or 5. And the pandemic happened, so we got stuck here.
Oh yeah, I like to go to the Philippines at least 3 or 4 times a year, and I can't get there. I mean, it's terrible. Andy Lau's my second home there on the beach, right, diving.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think as you say in America, it sucks. And I was just thinking.
Well, I decided to start this YouTube channel about scuba diving because I'm in Dubai where am I? Dauin, and really rare species. And as soon as I did that, I mean, I had sponsors, all the free diving I could do, whatever. As soon as that happened, the lockdown started, and I couldn't dive. All the diving was banned. All the sponsors went out of business or shut down up to now. So, like 2 months ago, I was able to start diving again and making real episodes. So the channel's growing slow.
Well, I'm seeing that, but you've been a great supporter in helping me out. I think you have those times when you think, "Oh, my views are not going up. Oh, no one subscribed for a week." You start to get suicidal thoughts, right? You think, "What have I done? Critter hunter, I could kill him. Why did he get me into this?"
Well, it's the same with my wife. We basically put our website on autopilot. All the income is passive, even though like 3/4 of it died with the pandemic. I was like, you know what? We're just gonna. If I want to do YouTube, it's gonna be full time. I need to do that full time. So we're not really working on my business. We're doing this YouTube shit full time, either diving or editing every single day, all day. So when it doesn't go good, I'm like, I'm only 34. I don't have a pension. I don't have a work visa. There's just no hope. Judea can't go to my country, so to go, if I need to go to work. So it's you always second guessing what the hell you're doing.
It's not easy, man. It's not easy at all. But hopefully, things. I just heard that Annie Lau's opened up again as of 2 days ago, I think.
But only for locals. You still can't get there.
Yeah, and they've got a myriad of regulations to comply with as well. So it's tough. I'm in touch with the dive centre or the hotel, and when I go to Annie Lau, I rent my own boat. And we go out because it's just so much cheaper. So
man, I really want to do it that way. I've always gone with resort sponsors, and that means I have to go with their guests as well. So I don't know if it's like here where you can just go by yourself or what. I'd like if you go and you get a boat, you gotta bring.
No, you're invited. As soon as I'm on the way to Annie Lau, you're the first person I'm calling. So you haul your ass up to Annie Lau, and then we'll come back down to Dauin.
Yeah,
but
I love Dauin as well.
So let's just go back to when you learned to dive in Mozambique. What motivated you to learn to dive? Was it was one of the activities, or it's something you've wanted to do since you were a kid? Or
well, the first time I heard about it was in kindergarten. Some guy for career day came dressed up in all tech diving gear, so he's all dry suit, double tanks, and the mask. You can't even see him. I'm like, oh my god, that guy is so cool. I was addicted. And then later in high school, I used to go to Lake Powell in Utah. I don't know if you've ever heard of Lake Powell.
No.
But it's insane, amazing lake. Like hundreds of miles long. And one of my friends took me diving there, just like a discover scuba diving, I guess you'd call it. Same tank and everything. And I was addicted. But growing up in Colorado, we only had lakes. Everybody would go over the border to Utah for Crater Lake to get scuba. But my professor that took us on these international trips, he said, you want to be a true blue traveler, you have to explore the underwater world because that's 70% of the world. So I was like, yeah, I got to do that. So that's how I got started, and it's
Right,
been a
and then you're hooked, right? So,
oh yeah.
what's your a few diving questions? You know, what certification are you? Did you stop at dive master, or have you gone on?
Yeah, I'm a dive master only. For the last few years, I was a PADI ambassador, and they wanted me to do instructor, and we were going to do a campaign where I do all their specialities, but it's too much work and no benefit.
Yeah,
But there's no benefit for me to be anything higher than a dive master. I'm never going to work even as a dive master. I'm an influencer. Even before
yeah.
YouTube, it's Instagram and my website. So there's a happy medium. I don't need to be an instructor. It's not going to make me a better diver.
It's going to
Uh,
cost you money.
yeah. And on the other hand, uh, if I'm telling people I'm riding, they're not going to take me serious if I'm an open water diver. So I got up to dive
Yeah,
master. I'm glad I did because, well, I recommend everybody do rescue, no matter
yeah,
what level you want to be. But I'm glad I did because doing these world trips, I was trying to do the top 100 dive locations. I've dove in some crazy, pretty much every condition you can think of. You know, when I did my dive master in Egypt, it was so easy. I thought I was the man. I did hundreds of dives there, and I thought it was that easy. But then I
yeah.
started traveling the world: Malta, Coldwater, Rex, Australia, Indonesia, 100 countries, and I was like, God dang, I need practice in every condition. So I'm glad I'm glad I got to travel a lot.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll give you some when you finally get over here for some real diving, not some of this Emirates Dubai tourism promoted diving. We'll show you some wild stuff.
Yeah,
Just a
I
comment
only
come
did
in.
when I went there. I only dove in the tank.
Someone saying hello to you, Justin. The Ballantyne family in PI.
Yeah, Judea must have shared your video. That's one of her friends.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. At least people are watching us.
I hope so.
So, but have you got any plans to do any more training? You know, tech and stuff to go deeper and look for more
Uh,
weird stuff, or have you called it a day?
yeah, I did a Patty. They paid for an intro to tech and an intro to rebreather when I was in Gili Islands, and that got me a little addicted. But they don't want to promote their tech diving courses, so I said, you know what? This year you're either going to pay for all my courses up to whatever level it is, so I could get to 100 plus meters, or I don't want to be an ambassador because they made me sign all this stuff that I can't work with anybody else, and they don't want to promote their tech diving. So I said I don't want to work with Patty anymore, and now I'm talking to SSI and Laui, trying to, I'll work with them if they want to do a series together here on YouTube and Instagram where I train for however many months to do all the tech diving courses.
Yeah, I
That'd be
mean,
cool.
I think Paddy's going through some sort of weird transition or something because I've just crossed over to SSI, and there's a couple of reasons, for that, personal reasons as well. But one was just because I hadn't taught for a few years, but I was still an active BSAC instructor. That meant nothing to them, And then SSI came up with a crossover,
Yeah.
and they were fantastic. And now I still teach friends and stuff, and I like to keep my hand. I like particularly the specialties and more advanced stuff. And with SSI, you've got to be affiliated to a dive store, but I don't see that as a problem. You don't have to work for them. Most of them don't want to take any of your training fees because they know if the student's affiliated with the store, they'll buy the gear and stuff. And I just found them a breath of fresh air to work with. With Paddy, the answer seems to be no for everything. You've got to go and do this and do that and do this. With SSI, the answer seems to be yes, you can do that, and this is how we'll do it for you. So
Yeah.
so
Some
so
Chinese company bought him when I was working with them, and they just kind of changed everything. It's like they didn't
yeah.
have any money, or they didn't want any. They didn't want to promote anything non-traditionally. So
Yeah, well,
I don't,
yeah, Paddy for many years was kind of a family business, wasn't it? And then I think some venture capitalists, or what some people call vulture capitalists, invested in them or bought them or something. And then, it doesn't become a lifestyle business, it becomes a complete way thinking about profit generation and cash generation business. And probably that's what they're still trying to figure out, how they can make as much money as possible, but still keep their customers happy. But there's a lot going on online and stuff where people are very disappointed, particularly with the not really great support for COVID-19 for the individual instructors. They say, well, we won't increase the fees this year. Wow, fantastic! And we'll give you a bit of interest-free credit. Wow, and then some people get some free courses from Paddy.
yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I actually took a Nowie dive master course as well as Patty, and it was so much more educational. I can't even haven't taken them back to back, Patty and Nowie dive master. I could say that Patty is just a publishing company. All they want you to do is keep buying their books and shit. And Nowie, with way more education, I mean, their book is like this big instead of this big. You don't have to buy it. My instructor had reusable ones that he uses every time. You don't have to buy all that shit. And then it's way more about the education. Like, I think Patty, I don't remember the numbers now, but Patty has 19 or 22 skills that you have to master. You could probably know better. But now he had double. They had all kinds of skills and stuff like that. And it was just way more educational and less about giving them money.
yeah, now for me is like the American version of the British Tobacco Club, which is where I learned to dive, and I'm still a member of the British Tobacco Club. I'm still an advanced instructor, which is their highest level before national instructor. If you want to get involved in regional coaching and stuff and running the big stuff, you should be a national instructor. But it's essentially a volunteer-run organisation. Yes, there's a headquarters with some paid staff, but most of the people give their time for free, and they develop very high standards. And when I was young, or younger, shall we say, we always held Nowie in a similar sort of level of respect as we did the BSAC. And certainly, I've got a good friend up in Southwark called Mike, who's a Nowie instructor, and I concur with what you say. He just says that the level in Nowie is much higher. Right, that's our sort of let's have a go at the dive agencies over. Number of dives. How many dives have you done?
Say what?
How many dives have you done?
Oh, I lost count. I think it must be between 2,500 and 3,000 since
So
2010.
you're not logging them anymore.
No, I lose my computer so often. I used to be sponsored by Sunto, so I'd have like 3 different Suntos, and then they would get lost after 600 dives. I have one here that I have like 2,000 dives on, though. I love that thing. So yeah, and then I'm doing all these reviews of different computers. So I can't remember how many. It's got to be around 3,000 though.
All right, we've got David Street online. David Street is the inventor of the Proteus rebreather. He's from the UK, from Ipswich, if I'm not wrong. And next week I've got another series starting called Tech Talk, and he's like you, has volunteered to be the first guinea pig. So he's going to be telling us all about himself. Also, we're going to go quite deeply into what drove him to develop a rebreather. Essentially a one-man band or a one-man drive. He's not one guy on his own, but it was just him driving it through his company, Dive Systems. So
I'm horrible at rebreather. I only did the intro, but I felt like a brand new diver, like going back to the surface and down from 2 meters. I was like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah. Well, let's see if I can. I think David may come over to Dubai end of the year because he's got some trials to do, and I said you can come off the boat and stuff. And maybe I'll convince him. I'm not sure. He's been all around. He's another traveller. I'm not sure, but I think he'll jump at the chance to come to the Philippines. So you never know. We might see him. We might see him in Anila. We've got vets in Philippines. Thanks very much. I hope you guys are doing well. So this is going to be a tough one, right? Favorite dive location in the world?
That's impossible. It's got it.
I'll tell you mine. Truck Lagoon.
Yeah, I haven't been to Micronesia yet, so I always say that maybe it's somewhere I haven't been because I haven't been to Solomon Islands, Palau, or Micronesia, and I have really high hopes.
You can't do that. That might be a question coming up. What's the best place you've been today? You're not getting out of this one.
I'll give you my top. I'll try to give you my top 3.
No, but one. You've got to choose one, Justin.
It's impossible. Yeah. It's impossible.
Come on, one. I'm giving you
a
business class ticket, 5-star hotel to go to your favorite dive location. What are you going to choose? You've got 30 seconds.
It's got to be Rajampad, I guess.
But it's so man, cool. That's where I want to go. That is where I am desperate to go.
Before the pandemic, the Indonesia Tourism Board was bringing me there every year, and we do a tour of Indonesia. But Komodo is almost as good, Alor, Lembe. But you also got to remember, I'm addicted to the tiny macro stuff. And Lembe, Oh my God. So, but I was also, Anilau's up there. Anilau and Dauin are tied as well. So,
well, in Anilau, if you stay down where we stay at Bubble Maker Resort, just down in what I call Mabini, the town end of Mabini Bay, you can just go off the beach in virtually any weather and be guaranteed to see amazing stuff.
Yeah, we call it the nudie capital.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I'm getting a bit emotional because I'm missing that. Okay, so again, Brian's going to give you a business class ticket, 5-star travel, 30 seconds. Where do you want to go next to dive? 30 seconds.
It's got to be Solomon Islands.
Right, cool. Right, favorite critter? Do you have a favorite critter?
I can't. It sounds retarded because of what I filmed, but I gotta say, manta rays are up. They're up there.
So, have you dived in the Maldives?
Yeah, but I didn't see any.
Yeah, because they have a famous night dive, and I've done it a couple of times. I mean, that's. I may try and get there in the next few weeks because we can actually travel. Maldives is open again now, but you can actually be virtually guaranteed to see them. There's one, I forget the name of the site, but you go in at night, you just all get in a circle, put your lights on, and then the manta rays just flying. I've got a video that I made when I was just doing this for fun, where I think I've got it on there. It's the only one I've got from Maldives. That's right when I started the channel. I just thought, let me put some stuff up so my friends and that can see. But they have 2 really good night dives there. One is the shark dive, where you just get hundreds of shark coming, mainly big grey nurse sharks, and this manta ray. So that leads me into a question.
I'd love to go back for that. I just saw whale sharks, but I know during season in the north, like Ba Atoll, you can see thousands of manta rays.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So the question: liverboard or land-based? What do you prefer?
Oh man. I love diving by myself or just with friends. So if I could have the liveaboard with just us, which I've done, but it's rare, then maybe liveaboards are awesome. But if I could just go like I'm doing now with my own personal critter finder, and I could go anywhere and all that freedom, then I guess the land.
I'm a liveaboard guy. I just love just doing 4 to 5 dives a day without.
I think I'm saying that because I can't afford liveaboards. Because the few I've been on, I did love. So, yeah, I guess if money wasn't an option, I'd be on Aggressor for like 6 months of the year.
You're not going to believe this story I've got for you. Many years ago, when I had my diving businesses in Dubai, in the UAE, and if anyone's interested, it's in the About Me part on YouTube, which you click on. I was actually the agent for the Aggressor fleet for a few years. And one time we took a group and stuff, and it was good. And the next time, we just said we just got a discount and booked ourselves on the way back from Dima. And we got to the boat, and there was just the 3 of us. We had the whole boat to us, and we already knew the crew. So they said, you know what? We're going to go and do the diving we want to do, that we can't do with the customers. And I think that's why it's my favourite place. But there, you can do 5 dives a day easily. But I don't know if they still do it. We even used to have shark dives where we'd go outside the lagoon, bait some sharks, and dive with them. I am trying. I've got a lot of this on 35mm slide when I used to be in the Konas, but I'm having difficulty getting them digitized cheaply. So still something to get done. Right, yeah. Nothing to do with diving. Nothing to do with diving.
The few liveaboards I've been on were insane. So, yeah.
You know, Egypt's good for liveaboards.
Yeah, they're super cheap right now.
Well, they're always about $1,200, and now I've been seeing online, you know, on Facebook and stuff, $650. You know, that's all your food, all your diving. Brilliant, you know. So
same here in Philippines and Indonesia. I did one in Komodo in Indonesia. Oh my God, it was insane. Just manta rays everywhere, whale sharks. But the one here is my dream. Is Tubataha. You gotta go.
We got to go, man. You've got to find me a good. I've been wanting to go for a while, but I never found. You know, I'm a bit tight with the money, and I've never seen. And then I compare it to Egypt and Maldives. You know, because Maldives every now and again you get an offer of about $1,200 or $1,400 for a week, but it never happens in. I think it's because the season's short there. I think they've just got enough customers and they can charge $2,500 a week.
Yeah. Plus, it's one of the world's only underwater UNESCO sites. Everybody wants to go, but I've heard of some really cheap ones under $1,000 right now.
We've got a comment in. You know, vets for vets. They want their favourite critter's Navy submarine. Well, we would like to see one, preferably from the inside, not the outside.
I've seen one. I've seen a couple on the outside.
Well, underwater.
Yeah.
Hawaii.
One time I went diving in Hawaii and a freaking submarine went over my head. I still got the video. And then
we won't get into the American Navy versus the Royal Navy and who's the best.
Yeah,
and who knows how not to crash ships.
We can afford new ones. That's why it's okay.
Well, we'll take your cast-offs. You know, we're good at repairing stuff. Right, nothing to do with diving. Let's just take a little time out because you're a big traveller as well, right? You know, you love your diving, but I mean, we're going to talk about your bucket list later. But you're a big traveller. So
yeah, I remember those days.
Well, they'll come back. They'll come back. Which place do you want to go to see? Not related to diving.
Oh, it's hard. It's impossible to think about not related to diving. That's how I plan the travels.
Yeah. But you've got that huge bucket list on your website.
So I can't use Solomon Islands, I guess.
No.
Palau has always been but that's kind of a diving one as well. Same with Papua New Guinea.
But you've got stuff on that. You know, I can't get your bucket list up and scroll down, but there's a few things on there.
Yeah, there's something that's not diving at all. I'd love to do the Trans-Siberian Rail from Beijing to Europe. That'd be awesome.
Oh,
Russia.
that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Another put you on the spot question. Money, no object. You know, Brian's giving you $10 million. Where would you live?
On a sailboat.
Good answer.
Yeah,
Catamaran or monohull?
I dream about it all the time. A big catamaran, 60-footer, dive compressor, tanks, everything in the back. Some side scan sonar stuff to find some shipwrecks in the Indian Ocean or something. I could go on all day. I would live on that.
All right, so we're at about 100-foot boat and about $20 million at the moment. So the YouTube channel better take off.
I'm counting on this to help me boost it.
All right, David. Oh no, we've got a friend of mine, Steve. Please say hi. Hi, Steve. Thanks for watching. He's in Abu Dhabi. Good friend of mine. Steve, Dave Street's back on. Right, he's right. He needs to take. I've been to Malta a couple of times and I didn't dive, and it has got some of the best shore diving in the world. Dave, I'm definitely coming to Malta with you.
So I did a press trip to Malta, and I was there 2 months before the arch fell down. I dove under the famous arch in Malta.
Yeah. Well, Dave lived in Malta, and he did a lot of his initial development on the Proteus there, because I remember he came and stayed with him. I think I'm correct in saying it's because he could make modifications and immediately go and do some diving, jump in the car, test it out. So yeah, I should go and dive in Malta. I'm not a big fan of the Mediterranean because they've fished it all out, but it is beautifully clear, and I do like wrecks. So
I'm with you. I'm with you. The Mediterranean is pretty dead, kind of even more than the Caribbean. It's not my favorite place.
But I did see, I forget where it was, a video the other day, and there was fish in the Med. I thought, maybe something's working. But you know, I like a good
Sardinia, and it's right next to Corsica. There's a national underwater marine park there. It's not bad actually, especially for the Mediterranean.
Yeah, I used to take trips to Turkey because we could get really good deals with Turkish Airlines at the time, and we'd go down to Fethiye and dive out of there. You know, when we have the Eid holidays and that, and yeah, we could do those holidays with diving everything for about 50. What was it? About $800, right? Everything included, but you didn't see anything.
Yeah,
beautifully clear water. But
the wrecks would stay pristine because there's no corals or algae or anything, but there's no fish either.
Right, we've got another comment from Vets for Vets. Hey, he's my man. He likes our fleet. Cool. Right, let's just talk about YouTube, Justin. Yeah, you know, why did you start a YouTube channel? Yeah, I mean, you're a successful blogger. You're traveling around the world. You've got the websites. And I know the pandemic's a reason that you're focusing a lot on YouTube, but you know, what was the motivator to say, right, I'm going from this very successful kind of travel journalist, travel blogger career to really try and get established on YouTube? What, you know, did someone get you drunk one night or something, or did you?
Well, the main reason is to be a brand extension of my website and Instagram, so that when I send out these proposals or media kits to tourism boards or whoever with my rates or whatever, YouTube is another platform where I could promote the company. Oh, yeah. So that's why I started, but I love filming underwater more than anything besides the wife in the world. And
you're number one on my speed dial, baby. You're number one on my speed dial. Don't forget that.
She's number 4
I'm
on mine.
probably going to get in trouble for that.
Yeah. So it turned into more like, instead of doing it all as one package, now I I'm doing it 100%, and I want it to eclipse everything else and do it full time. Because I used to love writing and getting paid to go to Maldives or whatever and just write about it, and it seems so easy. But now I'm like, it's not that fun anymore, and I want to do what I love, build a career around it, and that's scuba diving and filming. It's not just scuba diving; it's searching and finding super rare species. Gives you like a huge adrenaline rush when I find like a weedy rhinopia with all the camouflage and it's completely blended in. And I mean, eons and eons of evolution has made it so I can't find it, and I find it and I document it and I film it so that I can show the whole world. You know, that just gives me another boost, more than just scuba diving euphoria, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, it
So I
comes
can't
through.
dive like this is the best
It
thing
comes
in my
through.
life.
It
Huh?
comes through in your commentaries when you do your commentaries on the critters and that. You can really,
Yeah.
just from the tone of the voice, the way the inflection of your voice, that you're really enjoying that. You know, I put a comment up the other day. Classic critter hunter. Remember,
Yeah.
just when I
Yeah.
might, and you know, you're so good at those. You know, and you can tell it's just what you were born to do, essentially.
Yeah, the opposite started going for my writing, my articles. Like I'm doing it because I have to. I was having to write things that people search for, not what I like to write about, you know. But diving and doing what I'm doing is just when it's your passion, you want to get paid, you want to make a career around it. And then
Right.
I started getting emails and messages on Instagram and stuff from kids. They're like, I got 3 messages this year. Uh, somewhere one said he's in high school about to start college, and because of my channel or Instagram, he decided to make his degree marine biology, and especially for frogfish or whatever, you know. And I've had like 3 or 4 messages like that this year, and and then however many comments and messages saying, "Oh my God, I never even knew that existed." And I'm like, dude, not only does it exist, but it's probably going to go extinct. More people need to know about this and to save it. Just like there's a frogfish biologist here that studies nothing but frogfish. We need people like that for 1,000 different species who can
Yeah.
save them.
Well, it's like the seahorse, right? You know, I
Seahorses.
just,
I
you know, I
interviewed
started.
the guy. He's the only PhD in pygmy seahorses. I interviewed him, and he discovered 2 new species. There's like 8 now. Not regular seahorses, only pygmies. Richard Smith, and he's the only guy with a PhD in pygmy seahorses. So we need 1,000 people like that, you know.
Yeah,
And I
I
get all
mean,
these
I think
comments like, "I didn't even know that existed. I never knew that was in our world."
there's
Flamboyant
only,
cuttlefish.
I think there's only 42 or 45 species of seahorses, right?
Yeah, and they just
Yeah,
discovered a new one, pygmy, in South Africa. The only one in Africa.
yeah. I saw that. I saw that. And you know, I did that video on seahorses because I started diving off the UAE East Coast because we can't go up to the Omani East Coast, and we found, well, we didn't find them. They're always there apparently, seahorses. So I did a little video, and I really learnt a lot, you know, about. I mean, the Seahorse Trust in the UK, which I recommend every diver who enjoys the marine life join because it costs peanuts. They're a small NGO, but they do try and make change. Um, so I was trying to
Yeah,
identify it. That's how I found out about them. And I found out that apparently 150 million seahorses are taken from the sea every year. You know,
yeah,
for Chinese traditional medicine, for the curio trade. I mean, it's just ridiculous. You know, this has to stop. And also, you know, some countries like my own, the UK. I mean, we've apparently got very strict rules. I, as a diver, just can't go in the water and look for seahorses. If I want to go and take a picture or look at them, I've got to get a permit. I'm allowed to take a picture if I just come across them. But how amazing is that? That's really good, you know. So yeah,
so
right.
definitely every
We've got
species
another
needs
question. We've got a
exposure.
question. I think it's for both of us. Vets in Philippines. Have you dived any World War II stuff? Me?
Yeah.
I'm British Nautical Club. I'm from England, and I'm 62. So the answer is definitely yes. Scapa Flow, Firth of Clyde, Truck Lagoon. I love any ship underwater, right? In Britain, we can't dive on warships that had loss of life on them without permission, and I agree with that. But there's still a lot of in Scapa Flow it was the German fleet which was scuttled, so that's okay. We've got some famous wrecks in the UK which I'd like to dive, but in my lifetime, because of the regulations, which I totally agree with, I won't. But every now and again, British Aqua Club branches sometimes get permissions to do survey with the Navy divers and stuff. So yes, I've dived. Subic Bay, of course. Dived a lot up there. That's after Anilau, probably my second favourite location in the Philippines. Visibility isn't great, but what an amazing collection of planes and ships. Right, so it's good we're getting questions. Keep them coming.
Subic Bay is good. It's got a whole fleet sunk, but
Yeah.
Coron in Palawan has a bigger fleet, and I've dove a ton of shipwrecks there.
Yeah, that's on my kind of Philippine bucket list. Coron, and also I want to get up to La Union where they've got clear water and they've got those tanks and landing craft that were just discarded, which is I think it's 3 or 4 hours north of Subic. I mean, Subic's nice, but the water visibility is, well, for a British diver, it's not too bad, but for most divers,
I'm not allowed to go to Subic. I'm not allowed to go there because it's like the red light district of Philippines.
It's all right. I'll have the kids there, so you'll be safe.
Yeah,
right. And we'll bring Judea.
Yeah, she's got a big stick.
All right. What are your plans for the channel then? I mean, you're uploading a tremendous amount, right? Sometimes it's nearly every single day for 3 or 4 days. But
actually, last month I did 27.
Yeah, that's nearly one a day. That's impressive because it's not just the shooting the video. That's the easy part, isn't it? It's the editing which takes all the time.
Yeah. So there's so many plans and a lot of plans I'm trying to figure out. Like I'm trying to make a series that's a lot better high quality, like Jonathan Bird. So I'm trying to figure out how to do it though with no money. So maybe this channel will be a behind the scenes for that, kind of like I'm doing now, not much different, but I'll be filming for that. I'll start another channel, maybe Critter Hunter TV or something, and those will be like the TV quality episodes with the professional editing and music. I don't know, maybe. And then I started Patreon last week, and it's kind of it's going crazy, but it's a lot more work again. I'm doing videos just for that, for those guys. And then like last week, I filmed. I did 3 dives. I was trying to do a production day. I did 3 dives, and I'm trying to make 3 episodes plus another episode for Patreon. And I think I got enough footage, but that 4 hours underwater is the easy part. It's just 4 days editing that keeps me busy. So yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to streamline everything so it's cheaper. Like if I get 1 episode for 1 dive, it's a lot cheaper. Some of those episodes I'm doing like the seahorses or whatever. I got to do 2 or 3 dives for 1 episode. So I'm trying to figure it out.
I mean, I'm new at this, as you know. And you go and you get some good stuff underwater, and then you go to put it together, and you realise you haven't done the topside stuff. You've been so excited to go to a new site, you haven't taken any footage on the way out or done an intro, and then when you come back, you think, "Oh, that was really good," and you don't talk about it to yourself on the camera. And you think, "Oh, yeah, I've got to go back now."
That's what I was working on this last weekend. Was trying to do that times 3 because I'm not just filming 3 dives. I had to do an intro and outro for each dive, and then sort out the footage plus a drone and all that shit. So I'm trying to be happy and not tired and everything, and talk about each species of each video from each dive. Plus an intro like, "Hey guys, today it's octopus season. I'm at this location. Yesterday I was here." It's a lot of organization.
Yeah, but you do it very well, Justin. You do it really, really well.
You're not
You know.
trying.
I'm just trying to get better, at least.
You're not trying to be happy. You're happy already.
She's my
now
little
you've been told. Now you've been told, right? And that's why I go around with 2 GoPros and I'm trying to get the paralens on when it finally comes. They just keep. I don't think it will be delivered in October, like they say. They missed September, and that's just so. And now I've had some success. It'll be up on my channel on my sort of GoPro parallel journey with some close-up lenses and with I think it's called the Mini Mate, and that's worked quite well because usually with a GoPro, at about a foot you can't focus anymore. So I'm kind of getting the handle of that. Working on the lights, you know me. I'm trying to get some $36 lights from China to work, and we'll see how good that was in a week or so. And then the reason for putting the paralens on is if I'm down getting the seahorses and a ray comes through, I can just go, and then each dive you get more footage.
Yeah, I always got a GoPro in my pocket just for that.
Yeah, well, I'm playing around with the GoPro. I'm a big fan of it because before the GoPro, my last experience of cameras was the Nikonus 5, and it was soul destroying. You go diving at the weekend, right? And I used to do a lot of nudibranchs and stuff, so we had the little frames at the end. You take all the pictures, 36, 4 or 5 rolls, go and get them developed, which would cost a fortune, and then you've got about 6 good shots. And you go.
You know what you should do, because you're doing the voiceover commentary. What you should do is, like I did in my last episode, you should get 2 arms that go like this, and then have the paralens pointed at you, so it can film you as you film something else.
Yeah. Well, the reason I do voiceover and commentaries now because of you. You put a comment one time. It's a cool video, but it'd be nice if you spoke on it. And I started straight away.
Yeah, it made it way better because I want to know. People watch because they want to know what it's like where you're at.
And that's what I said. You're my mentor. You're the guy that really is. Because of you, I'm doing live streams now. So that's why you're first. And we've got a request here from vets in the Philippines. Would love to interview you for my channel. And then he goes on to say both of you. I'm cool with that. If you want us, I don't know, Justin, you cool with that?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
I'm not a vet. I used to live on a military base. Does that count?
Let us know if you want us one by one or both together, and we'll make it happen, as you say in America. Right.
I think that's Dia's friend's husband. They live there somewhere in Batangas, I think.
Bataan.
Well, that's my home. That's where?
Bataan.
Batangas?
Bataan. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. That would have been cool.
It's still closer than mine.
Bataan.
Bataan.
Bataan. Where's that? Whereabouts is it?
Bataan. It's like close to Subic Bay, Pampanga, or something.
Right, yeah, because there's a lot of US vets up there, right? A lot of US vets up there. Yeah. In fact, I dive with the next, I think Navy medic, quite a lot up there. We've come quite close. And my friend who's ex-Reeve in the British Army, he's actually working on Clark Air Base. So, and I got him back into diving. So, right, biggest challenge to being a Philippines-based scuba tuber?
Well, you mean besides lockdown, right?
Besides lockdown and besides crap Wi-Fi.
No crabs?
Sea urchin.
You said on a video the other day there was a big crab and you didn't take a picture of it. You disappointed me.
Wait till my next episode.
I know why you didn't do it.
Wait till my next episode. I saw a crab this big holding eggs, and he was like swimming like this. It was hilarious.
And then walking away from you.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, but I know why you didn't report it properly, because you would have got in trouble with the wife for not bringing it back home, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't tell her till we're miles away.
So, come on.
No, the biggest challenge is for sure the Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi, yeah.
Yeah, I have. I just uploaded a 22-minute video to Patreon, and I had to leave. I had to go to an expensive resort that pays for really expensive Wi-Fi, and it still took like 2 hours, but it would take me like 4 hours to upload one video.
That must drive you nuts, right? It must drive you crazy.
Especially when I'm doing one video a day. Yeah. Sucks.
All right, we've got a question. I don't know if it's for you or for me, but we'll both answer it. Xeromorphic, that's a good name. In how many countries have you lived, and in which one would you want to retire?
Okay, you first.
Well, where have I lived? I was born in Germany. To British parents, I'm an army brat. I've lived in Eritrea. I've lived in Saudi Arabia. I've lived in the UAE. So that's kind of it, really. Yeah. And I used to commute to America. So, and where would I want to? For me, I'm from England. My summers will be in England, because I still think when the weather's fine, and the weather in England in the summer isn't as bad, everyone says it is, it's fantastic. And my plan is to have a narrow boat, or preferably, it all depends on how much money I make in the next 3 years, an ocean-going barge or sea-going barge that I can go around the coast and pop over the channel to the big European canal system. In the winter, I will be based in Asia, but I will get there. I will just leave England while it's still raining in Southeast Asia, but I'll have a couple of weeks in Egypt diving. I'll then go over to the Maldives for a month or two, working and diving, because my friend's with the biggest contractor there, and he always says to me, Brian, just come over, do some work for me. You can dive off my boat every day, because he's a contractor. He builds the resorts. He says, yeah, why are you still doing a 50-hour week? You know, and then I will probably end up in the Philippines and base myself out of there, doing all the really good diving. And hopefully by that time, I'm a very successful YouTuber with a back office where I just take the stuff during the day, do a voiceover, and the next day it's up on YouTube. Right, that's giving you time to think, Justin.
Let somebody else edit. Well, if you say countries,
Egypt, I know that.
Huh? Well, are we talking countries over 6 months?
Well, where you lived, where you actually, I think over a month,
Over a month, I have no idea. I've been to 90 countries, and who knows? Most of them are over a month. So, but the ones I stayed at least 6 months: Egypt, Estonia, Italy, America, Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand a few times, Australia. I stayed 1 year working there. Mozambique. I don't know. There's so many places that I stayed 6 months or so.
I missed one. I lived in Hong Kong. So yeah. I missed that one.
I think mine are warm places with beaches.
Right. So besides catamaran, where are you going to base yourself when you retire?
I really love. I'm going to check out Solomon Islands and Palau, but right now it's Philippines and Indonesia. Indonesia is insane. I love it. It's even less discovered than Philippines. Philippines has nicer people, nicer beaches, stuff like that, but there's some insane species all over Indonesia. And each year I'm checking out like new islands, new locations like Komodo, Mamir, Alor, Bali, the Gili Islands, Raja, islands around Lembe. So the only reason we're not there anymore is the visa. It's a pain in the ass long-term visa, but we could sort it out if we wanted to retire there. But it's like a 2 hour, 3 hour flight. We might as well live here and go there for a few months at a time, you know?
Yeah, yeah. You've got to have a
We're
base.
how Solomon Islands is.
All right. Advice for a budding scuba tuber.
I'm still the budding scuba tuber, so I don't know.
No, you come on. You've got over 3,000 viewers. You know, you've got stuff going up all the time. If you're not monetized, you will be very soon. So, you know, someone just wants to get into YouTube. What's your one word of advice for them?
Well, I guess the top three things would be constant, consistent uploads, but make them as high quality as possible and focus solely on the view time of each video or the percent of the views, because if you upload a 10-minute video and the average view is 2 minutes, there's no way that YouTube is going to share your video. They want people that watch the whole thing and see all the ads, you know, all that. So
Right.
I'm trying to make good videos, but I'm working on. I'm mostly focused on the view time. So right now my average view time is almost 8 minutes. So I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, for now. And
That's
then
good, yeah.
the other thing the only other thing you can do is constant collaborations, which is hard in our niche. There's not a lot of big dudes out there, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to work with all of them. That's why I started the Critter Challenge. It's just to connect with as many channels as possible, big and small. Like James, I did it yesterday. He's the biggest channel. But last week I challenged Captain Eelgrass, who has 50 subscribers and no videos. So
Oh, Captain
everybody I
Eelgrass.
can.
Captain Eelgrass is fantastic. Big supporter of my channel. He
He's
always
got the
puts
coolest
comments
name.
on.
He's got the coolest name on YouTube, so I can't ignore it.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. Right, let's talk about your website. I'm going to try and put this up now, and I'm just going to try this now. First time I've done it.
I need to on and off because my internet.
There we go. So this is Justin's website, The Art of Scuba Diving.
Look at that beauty.
Huh? And yeah, what I want to do is actually talk
That video
about.
right there is my documentary.
Hold on, let's go back. Let's go back. Which one? Oh, the video up there.
Right?
Okay. Yeah. So
that's my. I did a documentary about critters around the Philippines before lockdown.
So I'd say to everyone, go to that site and just look at Justin's zest for life. I mean, you know, he hasn't got to worry about being bored. Yeah, once COVID-19's over. And these are some of the things I went through his list because I did a bit of research, and just coming across now are some of the things he wants to do, which if he does get to Dubai, I can definitely help him do these things.
Skydiving.
A wood turning class, you know, I've got a good friend who makes really good carpentry. Yoga class, come on. I'm going to get welding, that's easy for you. Archery, UFC, we're the capital of UFC, right? So Lamborghini,
yeah, you are.
the police heaven. Ice bar,
if I want to ride in a Lamborghini, I just have to get arrested in Dubai.
That's right, man. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in a charter yacht. Well, you've got our Coronet 44 to go with.
You got the 6-star resort.
Is this yours?
Yeah, we've got all the stuff there around here. So when you do get your ass over here, you know, we'll do what you want to do, not what Dubai tourism wants you to do.
Yeah.
And on that note, I did pick up these 3 things. You want an original artwork? Well, this is for you. It's going to be sent to you by LBC. That's your original artwork. You wanted,
really?
yeah, you wanted some snail mail fan club. So there you go. There's a stamp, right?
Up here,
There's
I can't
the postcard. And all my dive buddies are going to sign it next week, and then we're going to put it in the post for you. Right?
You're so spoiled.
So I can cross that off.
And you wanted a signed first edition book.
Huh? What is that, Daddy?
What is it?
So there you go. This is signed by, I think it's Surrey and McGeechan. Whoops. Surrey and McGeechan now, and the editor, Ian Robertson, a famous Scottish rugby player. Whoops, I'm getting this wrong. Rugby player.
There you go. There you go.
Book. So this is from the Lions Tour 2009 to South Africa. Right, so that's coming to you as well. So you get on that channel and put the line through those 3 things now, right?
No, you spoiled him so much.
Well, he's got a bucket list. That's the whole point of having a bucket list. And for you and Judea, a couple of Coronet, Brian Davis, Scuba.
Thank you so much, Sir Brian.
Thank you so much, man. We're not finished yet, though. Coming too.
Right, my last question is, what's your favorite YouTube channel and why? And you can't say Brian Davis Scuba.
Oh, well, then I don't have an answer. What the heck?
Come on. It doesn't have to be diving related. Yeah, what makes I want to know the channel and I want to know why you like it.
I guess I got to go with Jonathan Bird because obvious reasons. He does exactly what I wish I could do one day. Right. I don't watch things for entertainment anymore. I watch it like I could do that. I want to do that or how to do that, And Jonathan Bird, I don't watch for the entertainment. I'm like, I got to figure out how to do that as a career.
Well, I would love you and Jonathan Bird because, I like what he does, but I don't like his narration. And I love your narration. If you could be the voice of Jonathan Bird, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I think he's geared more towards kids, but I love his cinematography underwater. I started the top 100 dive locations. It was kind of like what he was doing.
Yeah. But he must have a big crew with him.
Yeah.
That is BBC, Natural World, Natural History quality that he puts out there. But he's not been doing very much recently, has he?
No. I mean, some episodes he takes his $80,000 red camera underwater, and his videographer that follows him, films him, has a red camera, and then he has an out-of-water videographer that does the drone and the interviews and whatever, and then professional editors, professional sound studio. It's just my dream, man. I just want to make high-quality TV show episodes for like Netflix or Amazon or something. Or I'd rather do it for myself right here, but make enough money to keep doing it. You know what I mean?
Sure. Right. So I'm just going to have a quick shout out for Critter Hunter before I get him to put his closing remarks because my questions are done. Critter Hunter has got some amazing merch that he's designed. And his sales aren't what he wants them to be. So if you've enjoyed today, please go on to Critter Hunter's channel. Look in the description. There's a link to Teespring. I think his classic design is fantastic, and every diver should have one. Christmas is coming, everyone. You always need to think what to buy someone for Christmas. So a bit of Critter Hunter merch will go a long way because the money's not going in his pocket. It's going to a dive center's pocket so he can make more videos. So please help the guy out. He's got some great design.
2 shirts is about one dive, one episode.
What was that, Justin?
I think I added it up, and the profit from 1 or 2 shirts is about one dive or one episode.
So there you go, guys. One for you, one for the wife, the boyfriend, the girlfriend, the partner. Buy 2 shirts and let Critter Hunter go diving, so we can get more awesome videos on YouTube. All right, Justin, would anything you want to add?
No, just cheers to you. Shout out to you. You've been my biggest supporter since I started taking YouTube serious and try to make it something. So
Well,
and Judea too.
you were teaching me everything. All right.
If we can get together, I can really show you some stuff.
Brilliant. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes my first ever live stream. I was a bit nervous. I was extremely nervous this morning, about half hour before, but it's been brilliant. I've got to take my hat off to Justin and Judea. I mean, what a great guy to have your first live stream with, you know. And she's #1 on my speed dial. She knows that now, right? Where's Kevin?
Yes.
Is he around or is he just sleeping?
He's a terrorist. He's probably searching for lizards.
I feel like I'm there with you. It's been that good. Unfortunately, we can't go diving this afternoon because I'm not there. But everyone who gave us comments and stuff, thanks very much. That does really motivate you when you're doing a live stream, when comments come in and questions come in. I think you'll agree there, Justin. So, yeah, I've enjoyed it. I've now got to go and hunt for a couple of ScubaTubers to get for my next interviews. I think Justin's got a good idea who one of them will be, but I'm not going to mention his name in case he doesn't agree. But everyone, thanks for watching. It's been really good, and we'll see you next time. My name's Brian Davis. This is Brian Davis Scuba. Get all your friends to hit the subscribe and like button, please. You know, mine and Justin's, right? That's Critter Hunter and Brian Davis Scuba. So we'll see you next time. Cheers. Thanks.
Thank you.